This was rough. Tonight, the Chiefs fall 28-21 to the Bills, and you're left staring at a 5-4 record, wondering how everything got a little messier. The scoreboard says Buffalo, the headline says frustration, and if you're like me, you're feeling that familiar sting. Not panic, not yet, but the kind of worry that won't let you ignore the problems. Let's hit the big picture first. This game felt like one of those matchups where anything could happen, and Buffalo was better. Josh Allen had one of those nights where everything seemed easy for him. He was accurate, decisive, and he made plays with his legs when the defense overcommitted. James Cook broke the 100-yard mark, and the Bills' front did a clean job opening lanes. That alone changed the tone of the whole contest. On our side, offense never found its rhythm. Patrick looked a step late at times, the line got beat, and the short yardage hiccup at the goal line before halftime still stings. You look back at that and wonder how different the second half might have felt with 7 instead of 3. Special plays popped up. The 4th and 17, the 2-point connection with Kelsey, and those moments reminded you why you stick with this team. But flashes aren't a game plan, and a handful of big plays can't cover a full night of inconsistency. Defensively, that streak, 30 straight games without letting an individual back go for 100. That streak is gone. That matters. It's a number that felt like a badge of identity for this unit. Tonight, Cook ran like he had something to prove, and our run defense didn't make the adjustments fast enough. You can add scheme, you can add missed tackles, you can add fresh faces trying to settle in. The sum was a Bills ground attack that dictated the tempo. Now, I want to hear your instant reaction. In the comments right now, tell me one word. Concern, fixable, or overreaction. Which one is it for you? And real quick, if you aren't subscribed yet, hit that button. We're pushing to get to 6,000 subscribers so we can make more breakdowns like this and get deeper into the fixes the Chiefs need. Smash that like too if you want a follow-up video focused just on the offensive line and pass rush. You've got to hand it to Buffalo. They came into Arrowhead with a plan, executed it cleanly, and walked out with confidence that hasn't shown up for them in past years. For once, they didn't flinch. Josh Allen was simply surgical. 23 completions on 26. Attempts, that's 88%. And he didn't just manage the game, he dictated it. He spread the ball out, took what the defense gave him, and when things broke down, he used his legs to create exactly what Kansas City's defense didn't want: chaos. 2 rushing touchdowns, both momentum killers, both perfect examples of what happens when Allen decides to take over instead of waiting for something to develop. But it wasn't just Allen. James Cook turned into a statement. For 30 straight games, no. Running back had broken 100 yards against the Chiefs. That streak died tonight. 27 carries for 114 yards, and almost every one of those runs felt like it came at a back-breaking time. Buffalo's offensive line opened lanes, sealed edges, and kept their rhythm. When you can run on this defense, you're not just moving the chains, you're controlling the game clock, you're keeping Mahomes on the sideline, and that's exactly what they did. And then came Dalton Kincaid. Man, the Chiefs just couldn't figure him out. 6 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. It felt like he was open every time Allen looked his way. A yards-after-catch machine who just kept the sticks moving. It was a tight end clinic, honestly. You could almost see the frustration building in the secondary. The Bills didn't overcomplicate it. Short routes, fast reads, move the chains, simple football, perfect execution. This wasn't a fluke. Buffalo came prepared. Their offensive rhythm neutralized the Chiefs' pass, rush. They used motion, quick throws, and power runs to slow down the defensive line, and defensively, they returned the favor, taking away the deep shots, forcing Mahomes into second and long situations, and betting on their front to win matchups. Spoiler alert, it worked. And let's not ignore the emotional piece. You can tell Buffalo came in with something to prove. Every time Allen and Mahomes face off, it's more than a regular season game. It's a rivalry with pride attached. Tonight, Allen fed off that energy, and Mahomes didn't have that extra spark. You saw the difference. So here's what I want to know from you. Be honest. Did Buffalo expose a deeper issue with this Chiefs defense, or was this just one of those nights where the opponent played out of their mind? Vote down below. Yes, exposed something, or no, just one bad game. And if you're here breaking down this loss with me, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're on the road to $6,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps this community grow. Plus, I'll be dropping a film breakdown soon that shows exactly how Buffalo created mismatches against our secondary. You won't want to miss it. Let's be real. This offense just never found its rhythm. From the opening drive, you could feel it. Something was off. Patrick Mahomes looked human. The timing was messy, and protection was almost non-existent. Mahomes finished 15 of 34 for 250 yards and 1 interception. And honestly, that stat line looks cleaner than it felt watching it live. Under 50% completion for the first time in a regular season game? That's not Mahomes. You could tell he never got comfortable. The pressure was constant. The pocket collapsed fast, and every time it looked like he might find a rhythm, something broke down up front. Let's talk about that offensive line, because it was a tough watch. Buffalo's pass rush, led by Joey Bosa, absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage. It didn't matter if it was Juwan Taylor or Jalen Moore, Bosa had his way. He was in the backfield nearly every play, either forcing a hurried throw or making Mahomes bail out early. 3 sacks, several QB hits, and countless plays that never had a chance to develop. And yet, even through all that, there were moments. That 4th and 17, Mahomes to Kelsey, pure magic. The 2-point conversion, vintage Chiefs. But it's those flashes that make nights like this so frustrating, because you know the potential is there. It just never clicked long enough to matter. The run game didn't bail them out either. Kareem Hunt was fine, 11 carries for 49 yards and a touchdown. Not bad, but not enough. He looked solid on early downs, but got stuffed when it mattered most. Short yardage, 3rd and 4th downs, drives that needed momentum. Bashard Smith's experiment fizzled out, 3 carries for 7 yards, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire added almost nothing. When your ground game averages under 4 yards, a carry and can't convert in the red zone, that's a problem. And that red zone miss before halftime, that's the one that keeps you awake. The deep shot to Hollywood Brown set you up at the 1-yard line. You've got momentum, you've got time, and you come away with 3 instead of 7. That's not championship football. That's how close games slip away. Those moments add up, and in a 1-possession loss, every missed opportunity feels twice as heavy. Now, I'm not here to pile on Mahomes, because part of this is on the play design and blocking. He didn't have the time to go deep often, and when he did, Buffalo kept safety help over the top. The game plan was smart from their side, but it's still fair to say this offense needs answers. Fast. So here's your question of the night. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you think the offensive line was in this game? Drop your number down in the comments and tell me who you'd trust to fix it during the bye week. If you want me to break down film on what went wrong with the O-line, hit that like button right now. The more likes this video gets, the faster I'll drop that detailed breakdown. For 30 straight games, Kansas City's defense refused to let a single running back hit 100 yards. 30 games. That's not luck. That's pride, discipline, and a front that owned the trenches week after week. But that streak? Gone. James Cook ripped through the defense for 114 yards on 27 carries. He didn't gash us with huge highlight runs. It was death by consistency. 6 here, 8 there, first down after first down. It was a quiet, methodical beating that drained the defense and broke their will. When you give up those kinds of chunk runs, you lose control of the game's rhythm. And that's exactly what happened. Josh Allen made it worse by using his legs at just the right moments. 6 carries, 19 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Those short yardage keepers, that's what killed us. Every time the Chiefs thought they had the Bills, figured out Allen pulled it down and made something happen. It wasn't flashy, but it was effective. Now I'll give Buffalo credit. Their offensive line played clean. They handled blitz pickups, they sealed the edge, and they bullied in the trenches. But for Kansas City, this is where you start asking tough questions. What's really going on up front? Mike Pennell returned for this one. His specialty is supposed to be stopping the run, yet the line still got pushed around. That's a red flag. The good news is that this was his first game back, so you can hope for improvement once he's fully settled in. Still, with the trade deadline approaching, you can't ignore it. If there's a chance to upgrade the defensive front, this team has to take a look. Because here's the truth, this defense has carried Kansas City at times this season. They've been the reason the team survived sloppy offensive starts. But now, when they finally look human, it exposes how thin the margin for error really is. You can't afford to have the offense sputtering and the defense losing its edge at the same time. That's how you end up in this gray zone, 5-4, looking up in the division and needing answers fast. So here's my question for you. Should the Chiefs make a move before the deadline to bring in help on the defensive line? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you've got a name in mind, I want to hear it. Who's the guy you'd want Brett Veach to call? All right, Chiefs Kingdom, let's take a breath. This loss hurts, no question about it. Anytime you lose at home, especially to a team like Buffalo, it stings a little extra. But here's the thing. This isn't the end of the world. In fact, this might be the reset the Chiefs need. At 5-4, it's not where anyone expected Kansas City to be heading into the bye week. Normally, this is the time of year when the team is clicking, the offense is sharp, and the defense is fine-tuning. But right now, it feels like the opposite. The offense looks out of sync, the defense finally cracked, and the energy just isn't the same. And maybe that's the wake-up call this group needed. Let's be honest. When you've been to 6 straight AFC championships, it's easy to lose that edge. You can see it in moments like tonight. Missed throws, broken tackles, little details slipping away. Those are the signs of a team that's been on top for a long time and needs to refocus. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time. Andy Reid's record, after a bye, elite. Historically, Reid uses this week to reset everything. Get guys healthy, fix mistakes, and remind the locker room who they are. And after a performance like this, you can bet the film room is going to be brutal. Patrick Mahomes said it best after the game. We've got to look in the mirror. That's leadership. He knows he wasn't himself tonight. He knows this offense hasn't been clean for weeks. But if there's one thing we've learned about Mahomes, it's that he responds. Every single time this team gets questioned, he comes back with fire. Now the focus shifts to the final stretch. 7 games left, and every one of them matters. The schedule doesn't get easier, but the Chiefs have everything they need to turn this around. Fix the red zone efficiency, clean up the communication, and find that killer instinct again. And for the fans, I get it. You're frustrated. You've seen what this team can be, and this version doesn't look like that. But trust me, this story isn't finished. The Chiefs have earned the benefit of the doubt. They've been here before, and every single time, they've answered the bell. So, Chiefs Kingdom, how are you feeling heading into the bye week? Confident? Concerned? Somewhere in between? Drop your thoughts below and let's talk it out. Before we close, if you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe to Total Chiefs News. We're building one of the best Chiefs communities on YouTube, and your support helps us bring more film breakdowns, trade updates, and post-buy analysis straight to you. Also, tell me in the comments whether you want a deep dive breakdown on the offensive line, a defensive front film session, or both. I'll prioritize whichever you request the most. Because if history tells us anything, the Kansas City Chiefs are never down for long.